this lovely ice
with the addition of Bison's tail.
It's lovely hailing. It was hailing when I left my.
You just have so many. It just opens the door to so much more stuff.
The weather in the last 24 hours has been a little
Okay,
bit miserable.
RRQ on attack. We've got T1 on defense.
For now, quick little rush out towards A main. Just going to be a little escort as Izu will go ahead and snatch up that orb. Eyes from RRQ right now, tied over towards this C site where Meteor's going to look to try to hold things down. Overstays on the angle. Does get quite a bit of damage across onto both Monyet and Jim.
Again, I think I think RRQ, if they need to win this, after 2-0.
You felt like a bit of a gamble there
That's
from Meteor.
where
just
I'm at.
hoping that you were going to get a 1v1. You can use that Sheriff to your advantage in that long-range situation.
Got a question mark created. Oops, question mark created over towards B. We got jump spot, and then now they insta-clear this.
Can't get there fast enough before the reinforcements are likely to
once
get there.
Astra clears this,
potentially
I was going to say we're going to see a Euro TP, and we're going to see a pivot over towards A.
T1 doing a good
And
job
I like this from Neon. Just leaving door because no one's going to 5-pass and hit through this choke. So as soon as you cleared this, you've kind of cleared this area as well.
5v3 essentially on
That's
the
the full process here.
Sprint at the ready, still looking to cut his way across.
3 on site.
One is Sylvan, just push into the back site. He's able to find one. Jim is going to take it down, swing in from Cushy. Does manage to catch him off guard, but now Spike going to be dropped here just outside of Flowers. The aim cannot be sent there from Stacks.
Oh, Buzz really.
Kill one off, but that leaves Sylvan now on the 1v2. Looking to try to clutch this out. Start set up. Pulls him out a little bit more into the open.
Is here insanely early, and they saw 3 on site.
Sparrow eyes over here on the angle. Needs a bit of damage. Both players got to be tagged up. But both not going to get taken down by a single Sheriff shot. Sylvan needing really
A great little double swing. They don't want it to get weird with the smokes. They want to secure that it's like a set.
Really solid round here for RRQ.
Duel.
A few gambles
I like
early
this
by T1
this round by everyone was like really nice. It's just nice to watch in
trying
general.
to make a play out at Long B. Not much support there, and no utility to be seen. And then a good change of directions, change of pace, a really nice relay bolt off the rip from Monyet to keep Izu off balance.
Why the casters need books and pens. They're just writing little stuff down.
So good.
They might have notes on the teams as well, stuff that they want to mention when they do research on teams.
Monyet there doing a nice job, switching over to the Neon again.
Surprisingly, most casters don't just turn up and just go for it. Most actually do like a lot of research in terms of like stats, maybe set strats that they like to do, score lines of what's happened, map results. Also like a Gilius probably writes like pistols down as well.
Crept up, potentially unnoticed.
Oh, well, now certainly going to be spotted.
He's always very accurate with the pistol.
Looks like he wants to try to get a bit more damage in with the classic. Cushy playing ring around the rosy here on the pillar, and there you go. It's going to be the hip fire shot to go ahead and shut him down.
Just a little bit of an off timing there for Izu. Had a good read on how to get behind the pillar, but peaked at the wrong moment.
How many cams do observers typically have? I mean, like set cams? I think a lot less in this game.
There you go. Slide in from Monyet with that Phantom in hand. Stacks.
I'm not even sure if it's. I haven't looked into the observing that much. I'm not even sure if you can like actually set keybinds. You must be able to.
Kills. Really get anything on the board.
But I think most of the observers just fly around these days because they have 2. Keybinds are mostly for like when you got like 1.
And Buzz is waiting for a lurk. It seems like maybe expecting a timing here. A little flank coming through that water.
Nice round, yeah. Clean little anti-eco.
Yeah, and Cushy's on the hunt. Wants to claim another orb. Get one away from that steel garden. So far, hasn't found anything. So Buzz continuing waiting for that last moment to try to dive in the spike.
The Sheriff is rifled. Nah, another chance for you. It's the same as the Ghost.
As they go, flawless round and 4K for Cushy. Now,
an attacking map for sure. Dependent on comps, like sometimes you get double sentinel comps, and especially on this map,
very critical ultimate here for our
defense side.
Yeah, this is a really cool round for Cushy because he's playing an agent that we really don't get to see him on, right? He's typically
does depend a little bit on the sentinels. Like if you run a deadlock vice comp, a lot of the times it's actually pretty good on attack as well, because you end up getting like double initiate to util from both of them in terms of the flash and the grav net.
And shutting
so
it right
it's not
down.
always like
so that's
just defense sided.
A really nice feather in the cap for RRQ and a really solid
change of pace on this one for the first buy round. Insta smoke. We sent a
space just very aggressively being taken here by Monyet on the corner. Meteor
he just like wasn't really ready for this.
More and finds it. Both duelists now going to be on the floor here. As Sylvan pushes back away. Not quite where the Thorns wanted to go. Swing out though, Cushy with that Sheriff in hand. We got the Marshal behind, but Sheriff gets the job done, finds a
how much more damage they can do.
Meteor will be able to hold his ground.
A great round from Meteor. Once again, of course.
Speaking on for an ace, but not really in a collision path here with these 2 remaining players on the side of RRQ.
Meteor's lucky there. He was 1 shot away from that Sheriff. Just got the angle a little bit ahead of where Cushy was able to see him. Crazy guy X-Pharaoh, 2-man push right up in front of Stacks.
Nice though, but it's nice that he just hears the smoke and just realizes what's going on.
Overall, not bad at all here for the side of T1 to get themselves on the board. There's going to be that 1 death suffered there, but Buzz, it's one of the players you don't really mind necessarily getting taken down because could just go for a lighter buy like the Judge, but looks like they will be able to pass over the Phantom.
Yeah, I've been kind of curious about Buzz. I've been keeping my eyes on his weapon selection. He's been using the Vandal a little bit more recently compared to what we've seen from him for a lot of his career, which has mostly been a Phantom type player. So I'm not sure if that's just a
weird time to switch
situational thing where it's like, oh, he's going to be holding longer angles, so we want him to have the Vandal. It's a little bit more consistent at those ranges. Or if it's just he's feeling more comfortable with it. Something I've been kind of interested in, but good hold there from T1. Not really taking much damage after the flawless of RRQ on their anti-eco.
And Izu being fully noted, they do get the salvos out. So just go ahead and clear that back pillar position. Spike now looking like it's going to get ushered elsewhere.
And so last time, it was a change of direction for RRQ off the back of that smoke from Sylvan in the pistol round. Same thing this time, well, who knows? They're kind of just going to mid. Oh, Izu though.
He's like trying to dodge the drone at the same time he jumps up.
Just going to get picked off. Up over the top of screen, Izu coming away with that. Solid
it was
kill.
the nicest comps.
Away.
I think RRQ's comp is better, but I will say that T1's comp, like the double info on this map of a Killjoy, especially on defense, is like insanely nice.
At all to speak of or players
like a turret in this corner is heavily underrated. But I think that a Vice wall on B and forcing your team to, forcing the enemy team to actually default over towards B is just so incredibly strong.
Trying to see if he can get any kind of reaction, and it is going to be a B hit. This is nice work here by RRQ, using those salvos.
Down, though.
Yeah.
Relay bolt going to be sent out. Sylvan just popping that Nebula, looking to further delay, make this unassailable. Creeps forward. Fast lane going to be sent in, and Monyet going to get cut down.
Even on the time on this.
Going to be Izu over.
I'm looking at Izu thinking, is he not just going to own this?
Pharaoh now trying to slide forward, but they're running
4 seconds. They actually can't plant.
They can't. It's over. The round is gone. And shades of RRQ from that split attack. Rear its ugly head here in round number 4.
Really
Izu
rough.
picks up a 4K. T1 ties it up at 2-2.
Yeah, I like the ideas, but it took too long. I think what they're doing is good. They're showing a lot of presence on different parts of the map, making it really hard for T1 to guess. And in fact, RRQ, in the long run, found the weak side of T1, but it was too late. And just some good moments from Izu. A good battle against Jemkin. Really nice maneuvering there by Sylvan, popping that smoke in a spot where he could anticipate the neon entrance angle. They wouldn't be looking, and caught Monyet completely off guard. Still have a steel garden. Izu does his all.
Yep. We got Outlaw, we got 4 players that can go one shot.
Quick pop on that drone, so it doesn't even get cleared out. Izu swinging, shot whipping. He is able to get away. A bit of damage going to be suffered. As Jemkin similarly snapping back over across with the rest of the team.
Still showing the Tejo on that side of the map, but pretty quickly.
Rookie of the year? I don't know. I need to wait until the rest of the year.
So once again,
it's so hard in terms of who it is. Because Cushy plays really good, Dos9 plays really good, Freeing's playing good. It's like, even if we just isolate Pacific, it's hard as to who can win it.
Smattering damage going to be found there. Does fire out though, so they know that there's going to be a player in this position. As Buzz sliding forward, but Jemkin, what a shot. Gets a 1-tap there with the Vandal. Shuts down the Neon. Plant can now come through. Meteor has to tuck back there as the Nebula gets ready to dissipate. Dimensional Drift going to be in play. Izu leading the charge to spot out all these player positions, get that relayed so they can try to put together a game plan. Meteor, however, still scaling forward. Flash connected, but Stacks.
Does Pharaoh need to swing there with his teammate? I
it's
think
just going to be a
so.
firing squad. Meteor again comes away with 3.
Yeah, I think
T1
they gotta
get all the info they need here from the side of
be
Izu,
more
and it looks like
proactive there with what's going on.
Frazzled, a bit uncomfortable.
It was almost like a lineup.
They end up falling to the wayside. T1 now gain the lead.
You can kind of safely swing
on
this.
The site for RRQ. It seemed like they were trying to figure out how to like spread out. That is nasty, Jemkin. But, you know, with, like you were saying, with all that information that Izu's able to filter over to the rest of the team, they're able to just kind of understand, okay, they're all pretty much on site or near dugout. If we all just come around at the same time from multiple angles, we should be able to wipe this out pretty cleanly. Monyet tries to get ahead of it. Stack shuts that down. That's a huge kill for him.
Okay, 3 in a row in the buy rounds, forcing them down to a low buy.
So good retake, good use of the Yoru ult. Now it's time for RRQ's Monyet to try to get started.
And I'm a little bit worried when I look at this because they got a set strat that they keep running.
Hunter's Fury opened up, gets a collat pump! Nearly finds them both there on the follow-up, but they are able to avoid that third blast. But can they avoid Meteor is going to be the question. And the answer is absolutely not.
That is real nice.
A flawless here for the side of T1, a 4K
that is
for
really,
Meteor.
really nice.
And it looks like a
Dude,
pump
he
with
makes
the
it look
brakes
so
here for the side
easy.
of RRQ. Because they are about to go off the rails.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard against this T1 team when they're sharp, especially Meteor. Just forget it. And you got a ton of info off that Hunter's Fury. Meteor, you know, the big win with Buzz, Neon v Neon there against the Overdrive. Everything really going T1's way.
Okay, and I'm slightly already worried for their strap up for RRQ.
On how to deal with RRQ. Again, I
But
think RRQ's
they
doing
can
a nice
definitely
job
talk
of
about the
working
fact
the
they're
map.
getting
They're
dual
always
control
finding
for
the weak
free.
side, pretty much.
A
It's
good
just whether
takeaway at the
was there
moment.
enough time?
Also, every
Are
time
they
they've hit
able to
over
deal
towards
with the
A, once
retake
they've created
potential that
pressure
T1's gonna
from
bring in?
B,
Things
there's
like that.
been
Now, barring
like
that last
numbers
eco
there.
round, I haven't been that displeased with the macro ideas from RRQ. So I think during this timeout, it might be time to start talk about some of the micro ideas. Let's try, if we get that plant down, we're doing a good job with that. Let's make sure we spread out a little bit more. Let's sure we keep some lurk players in positions where we can punish T1 on their retake attempts. Things like that is not what I've been seeing yet from RRQ. It's looked pretty static in regards to their post-plant defense.
Yeah.
See if they can pick that up a little bit.
Let's see what adjustments look like here off the back of the timeout. But 4-2, the scoreline here for the side of T1. Just that pistol in the anti-eco thus far for the side of RRQ picked up. Overdrive committed in the last round. Overall, not going to be too concerned about that loss of the ultimate.
Okay, another big buy round.
Because she has had this Steel Garden
for a while,
quite some time, we haven't gotten to see them get into a comfortable position to actually try to invest that quite just yet.
Yeah, I think since around the bonus, if he didn't pick up an orb on the bonus because he was one away, he's had it. They're going to try and get Crazy Guy closer to his ult. So they have tons of potential in this round. This one's very, very important. Wise time to take a timeout to try to get these ults to really pop.
Change up.
Exploration of mid though for T1. They're able to at least spot one, but now it's just
kind of looking at his mini map here.
So far.
As we can see, it's just a full retake of B. It's like spot information.
Fully stacked.
They'll go hold heavy over towards door, and then
so it has to be
kill set up on lane,
that they're get
and then they can just kill Joy out.
Players.
It's a good flash connection there. Meteor's unable to go ahead and clear that drone. It's not going to spot
so
too much
big
else
change
out,
up from how T1 are playing, at least just this round.
Gate crash into that hall. That's why you see the stack up there with the double nanos and the alarm bot.
Look at this timing from T1. Once they identified that the drone was out, that's their move, that they could start taking space, because there's no idea.
RRQ go for a re-clear in middle with 30 seconds.
Looking for a double face, it would seem, and Buzz does get taken down there. Window Crazy Guy out towards shops. Sort of Izu, so Duel is going to be eliminated.
Killjoy's got to be tempted to use ult for delay more than...
Still with that lockdown, and there's 20 seconds, so he's just going to go ahead and send this damn thing. And RRQ, they might just get screwed on time once again.
They're going to have to
re-hit. They have to try to clear this out. Meteor now just tucked away. And
oh god, they're so indecisive.
It's already over. Meteor is just closing out rounds.
It's the most perfect Killjoy I've ever seen.
They have to sprint this thing in on Monyet's back. And it's already over. He just had to sit there and send it.
Oh boy.
And the round is done. Everyone from T1 dead on the floor, but they have money. They're coming back in. They're rich as all hell.
I mean, yeah, I was questioning a re-clear at mid with 40 seconds because no matter what, you're never going to have a good time unless you like literally just go through the middle, and even then you're still probably getting through a choke like at 20 seconds against a Killjoy ult.
That were coming down to the wire or just losing on time.
My ideal comp on Pal? I'm not sure. I'm not sure these days of like what is best.
That T1's able to take. That's a great timeout for them.
I would definitely be using a Vice. Definitely a Vice, definitely a Yoru.
They're lacking information. They have to throw bodies
probably
and problems to get identification. If they're not using an ult like this, they only have the drone. And so everybody is
definitely Astra.
A site.
I'm not sure what that fifth is.
Counter sprays back through. That fast lane gets quite a bit of damage across on a crazy guy. Stack's going to be dealt with, though. Jemkin here at Dugout, able to find one. Now Buzz gone. Opens up the site a bit. Meteor is still nearby.
Teo's nice with the A control.
Balls, and he's gonna have
I would try Teo, or
Jemkin
probably try Deadlock, see which works best.
Now a 3v3. The Steel Garden going to be invested as well as the
there's a lot going
layering
on.
these together. Meteor, however, finding a little bit of a cubby. Stays tucked away here, backside, shorty in hand. If he swings the corner, crazy guy basically needs to hit this headshot. Push coming in.
No way.
Meteor redrawing with the Phantom, able to go ahead and
After
find
the
that
spike
kill.
and to get the Astra Suck out of them.
Spike not planted here for him. So looking to try to play delay, but he will fall down as Meteor up to another 3. The Nebula dropping. Sparrow fighting. Sylvan trying to get back in.
5
and it's 5 HP. The
Sylvan
difference is RRQ will break the win streak at
hesitated.
long last and get themselves
With how much time is left
so
here?
RRQ, they're able to get the operator
Sylvan
drop,
hesitated.
able to do
I think he's got to swing as soon as he hears his teammate shoot, instead of waiting for like the death of his teammate.
Great timing there from Buzz, but Jemkin able to hide in that dugout after using his ult for quite some time, unidentified. Gets a big kill. They're able to use 2.
Like,
I like
look
to
at
change
this
the
for
pace
him.
as well here from RRQ, so crazy guy doing a nice job. You know, kind of being like, okay, we got to start turning up the pace a little bit. We've got 2 duelists. Let's see if we can maybe
Hello, Fio. How you doing,
T1
mate?
off balance and not lose any more rounds to time.
So good amount of
More
happens, Fio.
energy built up there for RRQ off the back of the Red Bull clutch, but
Money
it's not the circumstances you want to be getting around wins in, let's just say that.
And their money's still
Yeah, we rolled it back, Prodigy.
Died and
It's been a while. Thank God we remember how to do it. He's doing it. He's learning. He's out here learning.
These teams as slide across here in that TP4. Stack's continuing to swing out, and Jemkin is able to take his head off.
Nice shots.
Things starting to click here.
Back-to-back rounds.
RRQ. Faster pace, maybe catching T1 a little bit off guard, given how slow all these previous rounds have been. Meteor, however, still a bit of a force, still fighting back. Still on the corner swing, able to find the instant headshot, which is Meteor with 7 HP and Izu. Creeping forward over here at Flowers to try to see if they can pull off a 2v3.
It would take quite the miracle.
I mean, yeah, they're in such good positions, and it's just the best agents.
Very, very tough.
Like, they got Astra Suck, they gotta find the Yori fast, and then they gotta wait for the Teo.
With a headshot. And ultimately, Izu knows that even if he's not going to be playing for the round win, he can still do quite a bit of damage here to the economy of RRQ. Just trying to pick them off. Swing in, X-Barrel once again.
Very nicely played from RRQ, especially the off-the-palm positions.
Surviving, and RRQ fighting back. Now bring the deficit just to 1.
Yeah, I think now that the tempo is being turned up by RRQ, you got to be a little bit careful here as T1 is taking these individual battles.
Can you block the Astra Suck with a
like
Yori
Stacks and Buzz
clone?
just did. They each tried to take some dry 1v1s and straight up lost them. I mean, early on in this game, yeah, you were winning a lot of those battles.
You'd have to turn it to face you.
But now,
nah, I don't think so.
Momentum is on
like only the right situation. Like you would have to go like against the wall. You would have to be against the
little bit
wall.
more straight. See if you can maybe either get ahead of these moves by trying to put some more pressure at A main to make sure that RRQ can't get accelerated the way they would like. And also Art as well needs to be kind of dealt with in that regard.
No collision with you? Oh, okay, well
something
then
like that you could look at. And also don't take those 1v1s like that. Or in some cases 2v1s is what they kind of end up being.
Yeah.
You know, wait for your team, wait for the reinforcements.
A is weak.
It's a pretty easy.
And the A is weak, but
yeah.
they'll just change it up by fighting over towards A main.
Yeah.
Goes over. Is your name Meteor?
Yeah.
If the answer is no, don't take the 1v1.
Don't take the 1v1. Maybe
yes,
Izu.
Take the 1v1.
Maybe Izu. Yeah. Because he's seen a few moments from like Buzz where he's dashed in ahead of the team and he gets taken out. He did have the one where he kind of dashed in the middle of RRQ and had a good kill, but there's been a few awkward moments in the initial stages of some of these executes that RRQ is setting up from the defense of T1. But they're so talented individually, they can often recover.
I mean, granted, Meteor with a Sheriff is deadly, but if you're going to be forcing up and one player has to have some weaker weaponry, why is Meteor the one with the Sheriff?
I don't know. I'd give the Guardian over to Meteor or
he's a beast,
something.
though.
Give Sylvan the Sheriff, because he's really good with the Sheriff, too.
Sure.
I think it makes a little more
games
sense
worth
he can play
watching.
with those smokes around it a bit. But
let's think.
I mean, maybe Meteor just
Lotus was pretty fun
you know,
from C9 Furia.
I would assume that he has some say in the matter.
And then the
cleared.
Sentinel's Loud game was
like
pretty
this.
cool, apart from
Kind
the
of what I was
third map.
talking about here. Some more A main presence shown by Stacks and Izu for the side of T1 to make sure that RRQ can't just get that easy setup for their execute. They can't just dial up a play from the playbook and run it
Let's
without
get
any
in for
interference.
Well, that is a big
at least
peek
2.
there. Sylvan confirming presence of multiple players, and now Jemkin
Your
picks
ult?
up the
Okay,
orb.
so what's the
Dimensional
plan
Drift's
with
gonna
this
be
one?
online.
Time to jump.
Overdrive as well as the Cosmic Divide available here for Sylvan if they get into a position where they feel comfortable going for the retake, but he is going to be still fairly committed here over towards that connector. Mask goes on, Jemkin goes on the hunt.
Yeah, and look at the spike though. The spike was running away, but as soon as they cleared it,
30 seconds left.
Sylvan
goes his
pretty
team
spotted
back.
out. Flash goes in behind him. There's a plant now in
nothing
play.
to stop the plant. It's a good plant for
Monya
long,
trying
but they
fill the
want to
space. Double
fight
push
course
forward.
because
Sylvan
they're up against an
gonna be good for
Astro.
either kill. Gets a bit of damage there on the Jemkin, which Stax is able to capitalize on. That kill,
Speaking of Astro, we've got a really late luck. We might have incredible.
One's going to be down in underneath. Meteor, however, getting pressure from both sides. He's forced to reroute. They're going in on the hunt. Because in the meantime, trying to hold things down on the side. Easy pushing in.
Monyet's running
now
him
going to be taken down. He was still trying to scale in, but
Monyet like scared him out of town, dude.
Able to hold his own.
Started chasing him here.
Meteor now once again
Spike was down
arriving
there.
back over to
Nice.
see what kind of damage he can get, but none is going to be found.
Been a
Forces
great
of the
couple of rounds from
armor by
RRQ.
Potentially there from the side of Monyet, but in the end, we are tied up now at 5-5.
Yeah, even though I think T1 does some things better in this round, RRQ now really starting to hit their moments, hit their shots. You know, they're not taking 1v1s there. You've got 2 players to back up Jemkin to make sure Sylvan's cleared out. Everybody's kind of holding their angles nicely. Really well handled. Nice turn there from Monyet. Very snappy. See if they can keep this up. This attacker side's starting to look really fearsome. A 4-man stack for T1 over towards A, but
Okay,
Meteor
faster
watching mid
pace,
again.
and this kind of
Check on Monyet with the drone or the
creates a lot of pressure over towards
Fortunately,
X. They
there's
did
no
this
peek
twice
out there
early
as he
on,
doesn't
so
get
they don't have
hit
like
by
an
that vulnerable,
instant
but it's gonna be
reaction
another
because they're
pacey
scared
hit
of the
here from the
neon
side of RRQ.
pathing all the way through. Wait, this is
Clearly in
nice.
the timeout call, it's just like, guys, just don't hit the brakes.
And to
Just run at them.
see
Got the dimensional drift
that
again,
maybe
though.
the strat
Last
book
time
wasn't
T1 had this,
as
the
thin as I
X-
thought.
the,
It was
retake,
actually
excuse me,
just like a
looked really,
bigger
really
plan
good.
for later on. They're going to start
Overdrive for Buzz as well.
using the
See if
pressure
they
to
can
split.
combo these nicely.
Astro ult
Cosmic
goes
Divide
in,
goes out, but
Vice
so too
ult
does
to
the Steel
cancel
Guard.
it.
Tuck back.
Did RRQ look kind of nice.
One widely holding onto their weapons.
Ooh,
as
corner
Izu
of the
looking
ult
for
to get out of.
opportunity to get himself out to safety. Buzz finding one. Jemkin, however, coming away with 2, and he's just stacked up
Bro.
here with Cushy. I mean, 3 players from RRQ all fighting out of the same position.
Bro.
Izu cannot hit the
How
transfer.
do they frag so heavy from here?
Meteor now left alone. Here's that reload, but can't quite find the punish. Okay, the second peak does, but time is out on his side. He will
Dude,
have to
I
back
like
away.
both
This
of
fight
these
is gonna
rounds,
go
how they
off, and
played
RRQ
against the
will be able to
Astro ult,
regain
though.
the lead
Heavy
after stringing
priority
together
of
4 rounds
here,
consecutively
knowing
on their
that the
own.
ult is like
Yeah, there's
this.
Something
then
that goes amiss here for T1.
You can still have some. You can still have like
in the
people
thought
in
process
position to hear when
B
to use the
lane
salvos when you're going
needed
over
to be
towards
dealt
B.
with. I don't know if that's the Cosmic Divide's a little bit behind it. And maybe
Yeah,
that Cosmic
normally the
Divide
Cosmic
needed to be
Divide
a
will
little bit further
block a
forward.
little
I
bit
saw
of
some
this,
pings on the
to
map
be fair, but
while
they
we were
might have
watching the
looked at how
replays
they do it
from the
normally,
side
and
of
it's like a little
T1.
bit further back.
So something to kind of figure out there.
Yeah, 7-5 is like pretty
idea,
normal for this
comboing those
map
ultimates,
with these
but
comps.
It wasn't quite drawn up to
But considering
a point
this,
where there
RRQ is
wasn't
doing great.
openings for RRQ to punish it.
Favorite map to watch?
I'll
Probably
jump
still
to that
Haven.
one little thing.
I do like a
What
Haven.
a slide in. Sylvan is there to go ahead and trade it out, so it's going to be Neon for Neon, but Izu hits the flash there. Curious to see how much vision Cushy has.
But
but
I'm
either way, he's able
enjoying.
to find the
I'm enjoying the
headshot.
new Ascent at the moment. A lot
Fights
of different
back.
comps.
Sylvan slowly drifting across, is able to find Cushy. So sight held down for now. Meteor shifts over, gets himself in position as Turret will go ahead and confirm presence. The Nanos wants
Stacks
to
get
delay.
close enough to use his
The
ult.
lockdown now going to be
But
invested.
they got a lot of
Meteor
delay.
expecting that they're going to look to try to go ahead and push forward. Clear this out. Stacks chasing, looking for a little bit more there with that Hunter's Fury. As the spike now does get dropped. Meteor on the re-peek. Knows that he's going to be being encroached upon. Ends up falling to the wayside. Kill locked in, but Xpharaoh now in a 1v2. Sylvan at 65. Sends out the Cosmic Divide. Plant sound, however, should have been noted, and Stacks is there with the time.
6-6. I think T1 should be pretty
We're
happy
going to
with
be
that
tied
though.
up 6-6
Like overall,
at
it's
the
great,
half.
especially once they lost pistol.
Yeah, really streaky half there.
Yeah, I liked
5 in
I
a
liked
row
what RRQ did in this
for
though.
the side of T1, 4 in a row.
After the
for the side of
timeout,
RRQ,
their
respectively,
B
in that
spams
half.
are great.
Really good adaptations eventually. There's a few rounds in there for RRQ. Probably like to have back. If you suspect your opponent's going to have a judge, what better
Oh,
way?
okay, he was fully blind.
He was fully blind.
Sometimes,
Poor Izu.
sometimes, you know.
It'd be like that.
Jesus, take the trigger. Shot connects. Halftime though, tied up at 6-6.
APAC ranked?
This is more
Why is
than,
it hell?
is
Is it hell because people are good, or is it hell
because we come into this one, it's like, okay,
everyone's flaming? Because I'm telling you,
haven't really even been the bridesmaid.
EMEA ranked
you know,
is
they've always been on the cusp of getting
ranked
invited
in
to the
Europe,
bridal
wait,
party,
that's
but
sick.
then, oh, suddenly my
Ranked
cousin's
in
able to
Europe
make
is
it,
not
and I gotta,
great.
you know, it's a family thing. So, sorry, you're not gonna be
there's too many
standing next to me
language
at the
barriers.
altar.
Honestly,
They've
I would think I
always
would love
come
that
close.
in EMEA.
Finding a victory here versus T1, that would seal the deal here for them.
For sure. I think this
Trust
is
me, sometimes it's better for to not understand
towards the end
people.
of this is kind of more of what I was expecting in some ways with double duelists, but you know, RRQ just needed to find that confidence, needed to find that trust in their ability to just run at T1. And I get it, it's hard with the fraggers that T1 has, you know, to just kind of throw caution to the wind and just challenge them, especially when they were losing some of those battles, you know, post pistol and anti-eco. There were a few rounds there where T1 was just straight up winning some 1v1s. But once they got those executes to go, T1 started making mistakes. You got T1 to make some, what I would call unforced errors. T1 made some peaks, had some moments that they didn't need to try to go for a play, and they did. And you were able to punish that.
Honestly, that's
so
kind of, when I duo with Mini, it's so fun, because Mini doesn't have that thing where he can like ignore people.
On this attacker side to T1,
if someone says something that he disagrees with that he thinks is dumb, he'll just go for it. And then it just becomes a voice duel.
So you're checking back pillar basically.
Yeah. Ranked, I don't know, ranked is its own little beast everywhere, I think. I think it sounds like it's best in Americas because it looks like people come.
That's true. He's been hell of a lot
I know they got a lot of raging kids as well.
As Buzz looking to try to take some space. The flash connecting, and oh my god, Xpero. That is disgusting.
That's rough, man.
However,
just got out of the
very
flash.
Solid as Izu comes away with 2 kills, and suddenly Monyet and Crazy Guy, the last one standing.
Okay, looking like a
From
pistol
the
each.
spike plant, Monyet.
Unless Monyet's got something planned.
Comes away with 2 kills of his own. Salvos to go ahead, hold on the peak.
Oh,
but
my.
Monyet re-peaks it, finds one relay bolt.
That is an absolute.
Delivers.
That's an absolutely sick
the 4K
pistol.
salute him across the stage. He's back on his feet. He holds down the views, and my
double
god,
pistol. Well,
what a disgusting pistol round from Monyet.
2v4 and he's done that.
We were just talking about the old GE team that was just disgusting on their pistol
they were
round.
very good on
and
pistols.
Monyet was a big piece of that puzzle. What a moment from here. Finds a beautiful timing while Sylvan's trying to go into astral form. Izu tries to bail him out. Monyet's not having any of it. Throws a great relay bolt. And down goes Meteor. Sylvan, no.
Just holding down 4. Unreal. I mean, that's very
confusing the whole time he's giving it as well. It's sick. Oh, I like the idea from T1. I like the idea there.
We're just off to the races though here as Buzz was trying to
delay the recon slightly, so
quickly got cut down
when you swing out,
3 players down on the side of
you
T1.
can have someone shooting the recon.
Looking at having a flawless round.
For sure. Just brilliant stuff from Monyet. So much confidence on the Neon. Stacks gets the orb and everybody's waiting.
Hello.
Oh,
okay.
Got one.
Does find one, but weapon obviously able to be picked up. Someone would be in a great spot to get a plant, but the spike is dropped outside of A main.
Yeah, Sylvan's.
And I mean, RRQ now, it's all about process of elimination. They say, well, he's probably behind us
on Neon, yeah, he's good. Loves to send
Sylvan's in the same conundrum. He has no idea where anybody is. Just trying to suss things out. Of course, with the spike there, RRQ knows they can wait, collect Sylvan's orb relatively reasonably, as long as you got all the angles covered. Okay.
That they do. All right. Well, damn near flawless. All the weapons going to be carried forward here from RRQ. T1 back in with the buy. As they seek some form of stability here. You see, yeah, that first pump of the shorty just a bit off from Buzz. Unable to find that kill, unable to really find that damage. And RQ very swiftly beat them back.
Yeah, it has looked a little bit shaky for Buzz on the Neon today.
Last big buy rounds. The bonus is very nice, though. We've seen what people have been doing with Spectres recently. Double pistol means we go next map, normally.
And Salvo's just to escort forward.
Not always, but it should do.
Very deep line here. T1 should be suspicious of this.
Well, they've got 3 players stacked up for this, so seems like they're kind of at least anticipating something.
Oh, finds the first. Izu eating a little bit of follow-up damage, but Jemkin unable to escape. But
this is interesting though. You gotta look at RRQ right here. They go 1 aggro. It's a bonus. They're playing info. Kind of just retake stall over towards A. And they have 1 person aggro with a 3 person hide over towards B site. Like, it's nice. You're meant to see one here and just think there could maybe be like 1 more on site. You would imagine they're roughly where the circle is.
They're going to try to catch some people's changing directions off the back
Oh,
of that.
there's one.
Use the alt, identify their locations. See
tunnel vision. Ooh, you could see it could have worked, right? The tunnel vision, once he saw one he didn't even consider there would be more here. Monyet got a really important kill, and he's absolutely crazy, but he's done great.
Sylvan now all on his lonesome. Monyet, congratulations on the 1000th kill. You might have just gotten your team a bonus conversion if Cushy is able to capitalize. 72 health remaining here on Sylvan. Still some thorns to play around with. Cushy just going to creep forward, swaps out the weapon, holding it to half. Sylvan, if he swings now, will find it.
A really odd way to play it for Cushy.
Bonus conversion to be found. T1 close the gap back down to 1 round separating, but 4 players lost.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of extra time taken, a pump of the brakes from T1 opens up just a little bit of extra space to get that first kill, but then Monyet just comes swinging right back in after taking out Meteor through mid. Finds 2 huge kills, but Sylvan coming up big when they need him most. It's good, yep. And that's the 1000th kill for Monyet. Very impressive player. He's been so tremendous throughout the years across a bunch of different teams.
Former land kill record holder.
It's true. This is also another interesting point of fact for today. This is the 100th map Stax has played.
Yes.
In Pacific.
That is correct. We did have that.
He went to Astrosuck. I mean, yeah, and I think he thought he was further back than he actually was. Just,
last week and a half here
I don't know, he was hit very early, so I think you should always just try and use your time, especially when you know where he is. But
wow. He's kind of been playing for forever. So.
This is a 1v1, so probably would have worked against other people.
So. Oh my god. Oh, Meteor.
Very important rounds, right?
Just a scrape of damage on the
We've
crazy
got 4
guy.
on each. They can't buy next.
Salvos has the concuss.
And yet would be able to throw his gun across, so like,
quite a bit of delay
at
here.
least.
And get a good read. Heard some shots, so they're actually going to try to push mid. Turret's there to get identification of that. But actually, T1, if
P over towards A.
Forward,
30 seconds, full exec from A. Smoke, salvos. They might get 3 here.
Seems to be now.
Slide in, Jemkin dragging across, finds
Wait,
Buzz there.
do they only have 1 smoke?
Back of the head.
Looked like Buzz thought that was, looked like he thought it was going to be an actual smoke.
Able to find Cushy there for the follow-up. Continuing to get scrappy.
Big Joe. Oh, Izu did incredible.
Out of dugout. Finds himself all alone.
Time.
10 seconds remaining, as you say.
My goodness.
Hell of a risky
Oh my god.
to come through. Star going to be set up looking for the concuss.
No
Izu's
way.
able to swing just in front of it.
Really?
What a brutal microplay there from the Yoru on T1. Narrowly dragging them over the finish line here in the round to tie things up at 8-8 and break down the economy of RRQ.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I can't believe he won this.
If he had, it's tough.
Look at these jaws. Do we get to see all of his?
Press forward, and it's a fake plant of the spike. And he just gets killed that he can't win out on time.
27 HP. Oh my god.
There's a whole bunch of little back and forths going there, but yeah,
like
Izu.
Frame perfect for when the concuss hits him. He has the headshot.
Crazy.
God, that's the way that the important round gets decided.
Correct, but still not being rewarded for it. Sometimes them's the breaks. Jemkin going to be looking for maybe a bit of a one and done. And he's not allowed to escape as Izu once again snappy with a headshot.
Yeah, honestly, you rarely get to see people get punished for the Yoru TP.
For the taking. As they continue to scale forward and try to confirm this one, Monyet swinging out. Meteor still wide awake, still snappy. Looks for a little bit more as Xpharaoh. Gonna try to catch him by surprise and looks for the timing and finds it. Knows that he's good for it. As soon as that reload, it does get sent out.
Xpharaoh tapped the orb and he's like, oh wait, I already have my ult.
Yep. I don't want that, I want the gun.
Well, that's Nice win. Crazy guy hiding and profiting with a stinger.
Does go ahead and pick up a judge. Not in a position to
It
try to challenge
becomes
Halls, though, so
doable.
it will be
'Cause they got their own Astro.
difficult to really put that to any kind of solid value.
We get to see a big Astro.
Say, but Cushy. Sheriff finds one, looks for the second, just a hair off, and Sylvan a little bit fast with that head jump, and now the backstab.
No, that was the round.
Find the kill. Sylvan scouted out, suppressed, just dancing around the pillar. The time starting to get away here from the side of RRQ. They're still making this costly. And Stacks, in all likelihood, not gonna, he commits the ult for this one.
This is risky.
Sparrow's gonna look to just try to
Nah,
run him
that was
down. I mean,
nice.
Stacks, he will confirm the round victory
That
here
was
just on the
very
time
nice.
alone, but I think RRQ not gonna be too
RRQ should
bothered
be
by that one.
super
Able to
happy
find the
with this,
Hunter's
but
Fury
honestly, I
as they go for
kind
a
of
thrifty
think they
attempt
should have
overall.
won it. But
That's going to be a great consolation prize.
Yeah, as far as
the
eco
ult,
rounds
yeah,
go,
the ult was good.
outside
Just
of winning
one
it, that's about as
ult
good as
to
it gets.
see if he's on
To
it.
force out that big
Cancel
ultimate
it
of Stacks,
after.
to find that pick onto Meteor. Some really nice Sheriff shots from Xpharaoh. Everybody, or excuse me, Phantom shots from Xpharaoh once he
No
picked up
matter
the
what,
gun.
you're getting him off the spike
Sheriff
anyway,
shots from
even
Cushy.
if he was doing half.
Everybody really starting to come online, and Buzz still stuck on 4 kills. He
Dude,
is
they put a
just
lot
having
into
a
it
rough
though.
Go of it on the Neon today. Izu's starting to heat up though.
What is this one?
Can be one of those win conditions for a T1 when he just starts kicking indoors on that Yoru. And there's not much the opponents can do, especially on some of these good combos he has off the util.
It's a nice round though.
And it's
With
curtains.
the late smoke,
But they're just sending out some fake info.
do you clone close, swing off of it, you alarm bot in there to see if anyone's in the smoke, and then you can push through, you clear the info to know there's a question mark.
Util over on the other side to make it look like he was there, to try to fake out that he wasn't coming
A nice
in,
round.
but it's pretty good
Doesn't have
recognition
many
here
options to
by
get out,
RRQ.
but
Great flash.
Armageddon sent Easy pushing.
no,
Front
no
of the back,
way.
gets the transfer over as he
Oh,
finds
it's
Cushy.
mad,
Manya,
isn't it?
go ahead, barrel stops, finds
It's
one,
actually
side
mad.
forward,
He
Judge
dodges
looking
the
for damage
ult and he
from
gets a
Manya,
double
comes away with a
entry
second
on
one, now gonna
sight.
be pinged down here, slides back across,
Like he
and
should
Sylvan
have
finally
just
is able to put him
been.
down.
He should have got 0.
As the dust
Shouldn't have
settles,
got any.
it's going to be Jemkin and Xpharaoh. Meteor dancing around the back, though.
Spike planted.
Maybe suspecting that one of these players has already worked their way forward, but he's not checking in towards Secret for the moment. So Xpharaoh, an opportunity to try to get the jump. Right now, the players just aren't drifting into line of sight here for him until Stacks goes right there.
Oh, my.
Xpharaoh comes away with another, and suddenly it's all down to Meteor. Tap the defuse, pushes forward into the smoke. Now the turret's set up, has the lockdown as well if he wants to send it, but trusts in his own ability here, trusts in the time that they have available. Now has all the info that he needs, it would seem. As they go
Wraparound's
from
incredible.
behind.
He's
A
so
Red Bull
confident
clutch,
with what he
this time
does.
racked up by Meteor and T1. Get up to
That's
double
a
digits.
shame, man.
This
RRQ are
is
gonna look
so
back at this
wild.
and
I
be
mean, you're
like,
seeing
how?
great moments
How
from
did we lose
RRQ
these?
players. Monyet on the Neon has been really tricky, but again, it's easy to kick things off a really cool idea with his ultimate. And even though there's some recognition that it's going to be an
Dude,
A
easier.
hit by T1 from
He's just
RRQ
kind of
side,
saving him.
they aren't expecting that Izu had already gotten to where he was, and he catches 2 players really off guard. And man, oh man, Meteor again, so
Yeah,
smart
double
in those
pistol,
post-plant
but they're losing like
situations.
all the clutches.
Hard to play it better than he did right there. Just creeping in, slow walking the whole time behind the first diffuser, and then can set up his turret for the identification of the second. Just watch one side, you know the turret's got the other. Brilliant
Kaylee
stuff.
La, right? Kaylee
Some
La
Meteor
with the
fans.
Prime. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I
thank you,
know
thank
the-
you.
the weather is
Arixor
bad
as well with the
today. I
Prime. 2
agree.
new
Yes.
Prime users. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the
Bit
support.
of a
Appreciate
bit
that.
of a rougher journey to get over to the Sungang Coliseum here today.
It was an adventure,
But
to say the least.
The fans have still made their way out to show support. As once again, I mean, you know, at least for the Korean fan base,
Ichio and I
another
played it
solid
great.
day as you have T1 here, then Gen G in the follow-up. You get to watch good old RRQ as well as Global Esports look to challenge these teams and challenge them. So far, RRQ certainly has. Right now,
the
they
Goblin
found
of
themselves down by
Broccoli as
2
well,
rounds.
another new Prime user.
Meteor.
Thank you for that as well, mate.
Another lockdown available here
Goblin
for him.
of
3
Broccoli.
ults to work with.
Thank
Critical
you very
ones
much for the support as
for
well.
RRQ. We'll see
Okay,
if the
the
time
RRQ
calls to
are
help
they
put
have
those to
good
better use.
ults. It's just low buy.
Was the shotgun again, last time shut down by Monyet. They get the identification. Slow creeping their way forward. Some smokes from RRQ. Try to
I wanted Broccoli Goblin, but it was taken. It's a popular
A
name.
bit of a fallback for Crazy Guy and company. Turret to watch T1's back. This seems to be A the whole way.
Trust me, though, I've been there. There's a reason we've got TV in our name.
He did.
Yeah, Buzz does take a nasty amount of damage, but this time the judge is hitting a little bit different.
Well,
2 kills found. Economy a little bit wobbly. Jemkin 650 behind, 1800 for 2 of the
Goblin,
players.
thank you for sending us all, dude.
Very much is in effect though, so
I appreciate
everyone's
that.
trying to play this out.
There they are.
There's a ping on the 1. Xpero going to be noted in that astral form. There's Cushy thinking that maybe he had free access, just walk in, try to catch a timing, but Meteor sets no. Goes down, Stacks has the follow-up, closes
Right,
things
now
out.
or never for RRQ. They got
now.
great ults, probably the best ult you can have for retake almost.
Needing to run back 5 in a row if they want to avoid an overtime.
For sure leave B site, right? Because you can
It is
just
a much cleaner post plan. Obviously weaker
buy
weaponry.
one of these
Crazy guy did
after
get
the
ding
astral.
off the Buzz when he was sliding in there. That's unbelievable that even hits him with how fast he was going. But I mean, the RRQ players, they look sharp today for the most part, but
Yeah.
T1 has been able to find those hero moments themselves, be able to punch back there. But that in particular was a much better post plan for T1. Players are watching their angles better. Nobody's trying to overcommit to an angle or just hold an angle on their own. Have all the information. Do a nice job locking it down. Meteor toying around in mid.
Killjoy
Jemkin trying to tuck
on
in the corner to
attack.
see if he can catch Meteor off guard. You know, there's
Wait,
been
why is
no
my
contact
Astra
from
committed
RRQ
over
at all
towards
in the mid.
Elbow
So
with
you're trying to use
Astral?
that conditioning a little bit against T1, I suspect, to make Meteor think there's some open space there.
Wait, this is
Surely I can just walk through art.
this isn't
Won't be that
smart.
big of a deal.
Oh my goodness,
Nice
he's
little pop.
crazy.
4 members of T1
What?
on the other side.
I guess you're not going to expect the Astra to play here.
Tuck into the corner, next Xpero now presence. Notice he comes away with a second. Buzz similarly going to be taken down, and this hit is
play, man.
absolutely
The pressure alone maybe
going
thought they weren't
T1's
going to play on
way.
site. I'm not sure.
Lockdown, however, looks to turn the tides. as
This
they
is
recover
why,
the
yeah, he
weaponry.
knows what he's doing apparently.
And this does leave Xpero on a bit of an island.
Aileen, Ash River,
Surely they gotta realize
Galanias. Thank you
Gonna
so much
fight
for the
in. He
7
finds
months. Appreciate the
timing here
prime.
before the
Brokill's
T comes
3,
through.
by the way.
Stacks might not die, but he goes down to 11 HP.
Fully questioning his
That
position with
puts
the
all
Astra.
of the
Kills
pressure on
3,
Meteor's
of course.
shoulders.
30 seconds left.
Plant being stuck, Meteor already going to be taken down, and there you go.
It's the
RRQ.
easiest round of all of them.
Once
Nicely
again,
done though, fair play.
breaking a 5-round win streak from T1.
Hello, Yumpy.
Try to restabilize.
Nothing,
bring
dude,
the
it's
gap
too
down to
early.
just 2.
Drink
That's-
water. That's it.
That's got to be a frustrating
Nothing
one.
crazy
but
as well.
I see this all the time with teams across the planet where they don't check the back of screens, and then the player behind it just gets a multi-kill for free. It just be like that sometimes. I mean, you're trying to cut off the angles, you know, using that fast lane and other util, but yeah, just spray him down.
Dude, he's got the evilest laugh.
I love money.
I do too. He's the emotional leader of that team. You know, you saw, if you were watching the huddle beforehand, he's the one that was leading the chant.
Yeah,
He's
they
the one
obviously
who's
used
getting hyped
Killjoy
up. He's
into
the
it
one
as
standing
well.
up and letting 'em know.
And what is this? Wall goes
See it
up,
from
split
Anya.
over towards B.
Oh, he's got some ultimates.
Here at Shops.
Oh.
He's coming away with 2.
Whoa.
Buzz, Meteor both going to be taken down. Sylvan fights back for 1.
One enemy remaining.
As, I mean, the crossfires here, just overwhelming.
Damn, we got a new
Stacks
strat.
just sprinting here. Rotates around back over in towards window. They don't have any kind of confirmation that he actually pumped the
Honestly,
brakes in this position, or if he's just
Had a
working his way
smoke
towards
in,
A,
then I
but
think
they have
it's
the shear
really
wall,
good,
so
but I get
till
that
that
the
goes up,
star could make it too
they
obvious.
just say, well, he's probably there, and they are
Cool
correct.
round though. It's a really cool round.
Great
Force him down
crunch
to
round from the side
eco.
of RQ. Now we're just 1 away from tying it up.
And what a round to call this on. Not only because it catches T1 off guard, but because now T1's economy is in shambles. You've got that ult. You put some trust in him on yet. And Jemkin to
Yeah,
get
makes
the
a lot
job
of sense when you
done.
got the neon ult.
Great
It's a
stuff
set
from
neon ult
RRQ.
strat.
Love the
Nice.
change of pace. There you go. Monyet on his feet again, letting him know.
Force him down to
Yeah, he
eco.
kicks
We got
over
3
towards-
sheriffs.
A thrifty attempt here.
They got a lot of
14-1.
ults
Stinger
though. We
gonna
can't
be blocked
really
by
count them out
Izu.
of this one as Buzz has neon ult and
The
armor.
900. Otherwise, a couple sheriffs behind Buzz just with the classic and the overdrive, but pinned into
Oh,
the
there
corner.
goes the
dead.
neon ult
Jemkin
and
will
armor.
go ahead and pick up the pieces. Izu similarly going to be taking down that Stinger. Not
Dude,
finding
imagine
a
they
lick of
can
damage.
actually.
Everyone
Imagine
unscathed
they,
for the
whoa, whoa,
moment.
whoa, whoa!
But suddenly,
How?
Sylvan with 2 stacks with 1.
What?
What happened?
I am not wanting to see it in the replay either way. A Vandal going to be scooped up. That goes into the hands of Media. The Cosmic Divide immediately
What
called down here
happened?
onto the site. Thorns.
He's not
doesn't
wrong. He's
matter.
asking the right question.
Cushy
I
is down
don't
on the floor.
understand what just happened. I get
Stacks goes for the
this
plant.
kill,
And it looks like they're going to leave him implanted here on the site.
but what happened
And then he has
here?
the Hunter's Fury. honestly rather see him go into the more disconnected position, but
Dude, as
T1,
soon this was like, I just started believing.
how have they gotten to this position here? The push
No
out,
way.
the instant shot to the cheek there from Sylvan, as Jemkin will go down, and this is going to be a gut punch to RRQ.
What's Sylvan done here?
With a 4K gets T1 a thrifty win to get up to map point.
Okay, 2 chances, but
Well, I talked about
how?
it earlier.
Fake smoke
how good
swing?
T1 is on ecos, and that's why. So much talent on this team. Unreal. Oh my God.
I mean, nice shots, fair
And
play.
Stacks wins
Got
from up on top
the
of the
Euro
pipe.
TP to pull him off the
Sylvan
first
was
original
reading that
angle.
the whole time. He was standing behind that Cosmic Divide. He put his own smoke as well to try to play that angle. You know, expecting the player to walk through the Cosmic Divide, holding the wall, and he read it from the get-go. Oh, here we go.
They're gonna get scrappy again. This time Monyet able to come away with the first kill. Izu
No, this recon. This recon. The recon's actually been causing them
T1
such a rough time.
looking to bring this map
Stacks have
to
been doing a
another
late
quick
recon over
and
towards A
chaotic
main. They're
conclusion
mixing it
here
up all
in
the
round
time.
number 23.
Beautiful recon dart from Stacks in
Yeah,
the midst of all of
it
that.
was everything.
Identification on both of those players. Bailed out T1.
Dimensional drift.
1,
Checking things
2.
out. Players going to be noted. Sylvan going fall to the wayside
Big
here.
jaw.
Izu coming away with 1 though, and now is all on Jemkin, and he will be felled. The
I
3K
can't believe
from
that round.
Izu.
Okay, it was still a nice
And
game
some
though, but
absolute
you got to give it to
insanity from T1
T1,
and
losing double
RRQ
pistol and
As
winning.
they close out the map, 13 to
Definitely,
11.
definitely.
God,
Well, I don't
what
want to
a
say
map.
like overall better because it just felt like the
Madness.
individuals
I mean,
took
just
them over
so
the
many
line a
hero
bit. They won a
plays, so
lot
many
of clutches.
multi-kills on both sides. Monyet was playing so well on that Neon. X-Pharaoh on the Astra looking comfortable.